You would have seen apartment 4 in previous videos where the walls were being knocked down, the cement floor was lifted to expose the floorboards, and the ancient wall was exposed. But I think the best find in this room was the inscription underneath the doorstep. Even though we've been working in here for the last couple of weeks, day and night, we had not noticed this inscription. At first, I felt a little bit strange knowing that it says, "Remember me." Who am I remembering? But then I thought it really has a point. This building is over 600 years old and has so many stories to tell that we need to keep as many original features as we possibly can. Apartment 2, we didn't film the walls coming down, but we've knocked all the walls down from 3 rooms into 1 big room. However, another stud wall will be going up in the centre, so there's 1 living area, 1 bedroom, and ensuite bathroom. However, there was a piece of work I wasn't expecting to do. Take a look at this. This morning I'm in apartment 1 in Chateau Walls, and we had a really good day yesterday of knocking a load of walls down. I don't know if you can see, but this used to be 2 apartments. Well, it used to be 2 rooms, 3 rooms if you go through to that room. But it's now 1. We knocked this wall down. But what we did expose was this beam. And I don't know if you can see, but this is obviously one of the huge beams that go all the way through from one side of the house to the other. And when we took the plaster off, there are hundreds of nails in this beam. Now I'm gathering that was a way they used to make plaster stick to the wood. Otherwise, I don't know why else they'd be in there. But as you can see, they're all underneath as well, and they go all the way along. So today, my job is to get them out. So I've got my crowbar, got my gloves, and need to get started, and then I'll update you later on how I'm getting on. So now the demolition work is complete, it's time to start rebuilding this place, and this is where the excitement happens. The builders have been on site all week. It's been a hive of activity. Holes are going in walls to allow for the waste pipes to go through and all the water. The cement mixer's going, and our first delivery from Big Matt turned up with their materials. If you've seen the previous videos, you will remember our farmer friend that we nicknamed Thor. Well, this is Gregory, Thor's friend, and he's come today with his big machine to dig us a huge hole for our new septic tank. Whilst Gregory was here, we decided to utilise him as best we could, and off went the rubble.
As we've said before, this is a 600-year-old building, and there's going to be surprises. Today was a humdinger of one.
I'm just about to go look at your wall.
My wall next door? Yeah.
Yes, would you like to show us your wall, Michael? So Michael's told us this morning that the wall, where he's put a couple of holes in to make the waste pipes for the outside toilets, which will be these 2 blocks here, there's a problem.
In other words, it's moving.
Tell us about it, Michael.
Basically, you've got there's going to be 2 outside toilets, and we've made a hole in the middle here. And on the left-hand side, it just collapsed. With all the sand, you can probably just see at the bottom there. That just all collapsed. Inside should be all stones and supported, and that all collapsed. But this was not as bad as the other side.
Let's have a look at the other side.
On this side here, same again, walls collapsed in the middle. But as you can see above the hole, all the stones are just literally supporting each other. There's no support there. It's just the weight of the stones holding it in place.
So
You've got to take that apart safely and then rebuild it. Apart from that, everything's normal. I cup of coffee, actually.
So, at that point, we didn't think things were too bad. It wasn't until Michael went inside and started working in there that we realised we had much, much bigger things. But what Michael was doing was knocking out a hole so we could put the waste pipe in for the toilets. And as you see, that's a little bit bigger than a 4-inch pipe. And this is where the problem started. You've got this huge beam, probably 15 inches square plus, very, very old. And what it's done, it goes into the stone wall. The stone wall itself, as you can see, is actually cracking. The stones have cracked. So there is huge amount of weight on this. So the guys took it upon themselves. Luckily, we had behind Lisa at the moment, and you know, doesn't need to have a look at them. There's some big old sleepers, some oak sleepers that we had that they cut up, and they've effectively put a brace in underneath the big beam to support the wall. That is a real temporary measure, but it means that we can have a little respite. It's okay. It should stabilize it for the moment. But what we need to do, and what the guys are going to do, is, and I'll point this out with my stick, from about here, from anything underneath the beam, that wall has got to be taken out. All the broken stones have got to be taken out, and the wall has got to be rebuilt. And the reason for this is that we've had an awful lot of water over the years come in to this wall, and it has washed all the lime mortar out between the skins of the wall and in between the stones and everything like that. And it's literally, there is nothing in between this wall. You can actually put your hand, and I'm very gingerly doing this, all the way into this wall, and there is nothing between the two layers of stone. Now, normally that would be packed out with lime mortar, and you know, they are 2 feet thick, these walls, and they'll support tonnage of weight. But this is the problem, that none of that is there, so they've all compacted down and split and broken the stones, and that is a bit scary from our point of view. But the positives we take out of it is we had 2 very experienced guys on site who knew what they've got to do, and those guys are going to come in next week, and we're going to have this wall out, and they're going to rebuild it. What we have got to do, though, is put beams across these beams, acro props, and I'm sure you builders out there, you know, use acro props. The acro props apparently in France aren't as good as the ones in England, so we've got to have probably twice as many, probably 1 on each beam, with a support beam at the top and a support beam underneath. 4 of those in this room, 2 underneath where the cave is underneath here, and that's going to be supported from underneath, even though that is very, very secure. The guys have had a look. It's very, very secure. So literally we can take all of this stone out, put it all back, and that's going to be probably about a week's worth of work. 2 lads going to be on it, and then that should be okay after that point. And it's, for me and Lisa, this is proper terrifying. And we're standing in the room where apparently we've got around 30 to 40 tons of weight above us in the walls. So we're not going to stick around for long. We're going to maybe shoot off, have a cup of tea, maybe large scotch or something, because I'm getting a bit nervous now, but we should be all right. All right, don't panic, Miss Mallory. Don't panic. Don't panic.
So, as you can see, there's been lots of ups and downs this week. There's been exciting stuff going on, and there's been some terrifying stuff going on. Stuff that wasn't in the budget, but we're going to have to find a budget for it. But we're still smiling at the end of the day.
Got a smile.
But anyway, next week will be a pretty exciting week, because the aquapops will go up, the builders will come in and start rebuilding that wall, and come back and watch that. Let's just hope it's still standing. We'll see you then.
See you later.
Everyone. Bye.
Yeah, bye.